Welcome back. I'm Gary Parr.
And I'm Beth Ellicott.
You're listening to the midweek version of Fiber Talk, the twice-weekly podcast for needlework artists.
Oh, I'm so glad we're artists today.
Yeah. I think, we haven't stabbed ground cloth in some time here.
Maybe Wednesday night.
Okay. Yeah, I must be getting soft in my old age or something. I don't know what it is. Yeah. So Wednesday night, you and I are going to stitch. We'll be stitching.
That'll be good.
Royal Garden. Yeah.
Where
I think
are you?
I haven't touched it.
Okay.
I still have 4 waffle stitches done.
Okay.
I have not touched it. And then, we're recording on Tuesday. So, last night I was just determined to get the motif I was in the middle of on Hannah Longstreth done. So I hung in there and I got that done. And because those little suckers take forever. And so I got that done and I put that away, and then I got out Royal Garden. And so Tuesday night I'll be working on it, so I'll be further along when we get to Wednesday night. Maybe I'll even have all the waffles done. I don't know. But I just hit a spot, and then so many shows. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I counted we did 6 shows in 7 days.
Oh.
So, that's all my stitching time is all the prep for that. So, so I'll get back to it. But, so Wednesday night, we'll be stitching on Royal Garden. Where are you at now?
I think they're called the Amadeus daggers.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on the solid color ones, and then you've got to go back and put the watercolor one in. So.
Oh, okay. I love those stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
So I'll do one. Hopefully, I know I'm not going to touch it tonight, so we can show how to do that.
Okay.
Wednesday night.
Okay, good. Yeah. So, that's where I'm at. I had to put it away. I got a new Case Creation, the Stow-Away floor stand.
All right, what's that like?
It's the one that the legs fold up. It collapses right down, so it's basically flat. So when you're done with it, you can just collapse it down, lean it against a wall, do whatever. And I had him make it so that so it would hold my Millennium bars, scroll bars, my Millennium frame, with the longest bars I have for Hannah Longstreth. And so, and he did, because he'll make them longer if you order it. And he did. Oh, the thing is wonderful. I couldn't believe it, because I thought, okay, because it takes a little fiddling to get it together. When I got it together, man, it's fantastic. You can adjust it and get it to the right height, because the makeshift one that I've always used was always a little high, like an inch high. And there was nothing I could do to get it shorter. And this thing, it's just right. It's just right, and it's rock solid. And I sit there and stitch on Hannah, on a big scroll frame, and it holds that Millennium frame, clamps on either end, and it's just rock solid. It's just, it's a treat. I almost hated to take Hannah off of it last night because I wasn't going to be able to use it. And it's the Stow-Away stand. He has, they have one that is the stand, and then they have one that's the deluxe thing that has a tray and a this and a that and another thing. But the stand itself is, and the legs just fold up just easy as could be. And so, like, when I had Hannah on it, when I was done, because that's a long piece, and when I was done, I just folded it all up and left the scroll frame right on it. And it would be essentially flat, and then I could just lean it against the wall and put a towel over the stitching, and it was completely out of the way. And just ideal.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a makeshift one too. My son kind of made it out of things for me.
Uh-huh.
So I hate when a lot of people come, or when Christmas happens, that has to go. It just takes up way too much floor space.
Right.
And I'm like, that sounds nice. Something that'll fold up. But so you can't use it for your needlepoint then. This is Or do you need a different attachment?
I could, but it won't. I had him make it so it would handle long scroll bars. So it only collapses down so far, and so my stretcher bars are too narrow or too small. So
okay.
So and that's okay. I'll put it on my regular case creation floor stand. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But I really had hoped I could do that, and I think I can probably get smaller arms so they'll get close enough, because it would be really great, because that thing is just so rock solid that it would be really great. But yeah, I have to go back to my case creation, the regular floor stand, the metal one, okay. which is works great. I'm not complaining, but oh man, that Stow-Away stand, oh geez, it's nice. Yep. Oh, have to recommend it.
That'll have to be on my Christmas list this
year. Yeah. It's it's very nice. And so now I'm back to the floor stand with
Royal Garden.
Royal Garden, yeah. Oh, and I was going to ask you, because Karen Dudzinski started stitching the Fiber Talk on Dawn to Dusk. Here, I'm switching gears to Dawn to Dusk.
Okay.
I should probably mention that part first. But she started stitching the Royal Garden thing. I think she had a sense I wasn't going to get it done fast enough to suit her, which is probably accurate. And it looks like she's got it turned horizontally and is stitching it that way. And I was thinking I might just do that.
That makes sense, because it's so long.
Yeah.
I know I can't reach that. That would now I can flip it kind of around, but if I'm doing something, I just put it on its side. I would do it. Yeah. Because it doesn't make any, as long as you're doing when you do those cross stitches, you got to be careful. You've got them all going the right way.
Well, see, I would just stitch it. I would just turn everything 90 degrees.
Okay, yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
Right. As long as it's consistent, it doesn't matter.
Right?
Right.
Wait, maybe it does because of that fill-in stuff.
Or just turn your chart.
Yeah. Probably should look at that a little more.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Well, I like on that Dawn to Dusk, it's she did the white outline, or it looks like white, maybe very light blue, of the cross stitches, and then she did the satin stitch that goes next, and that is in some sort of variegated thread.
Right.
And so I haven't touched mine since we had our little get together, but it made me think, okay, I didn't like the white on the black, so I was thinking of going back and taking the white out and maybe doing that in red or black. I am not sure yet. And then maybe finding a nice, very lightly variegated watercolors. There's the watercolors that's kind of, it's not got a lot of variegation, but it's a red. Mm-hmm. And it's the colorway I'm thinking of using that around all those.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh. And then putting the black and the grays in there.
Right.
With the silver. I might change the silvers to gold. I haven't decided yet. But, I want to work on that, but I got to get something done before. Yeah. I cannot start anything else new until I get something done.
Well, I'm going to have to look through that Facebook group and see if anybody stitched it horizontally.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it work though? I got to look at that. I bet it'll work. I bet it'll work. Because it's the same shape.
Right. You just need to make sure everything's consistent. Because as long as it's consistent, all the stitches are going. Yeah, I tend to make that mistake and end up half of my cross stitches are going the wrong way, and then I just mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
Okay, got to look at that because and part of it is I would not mind having a piece that is a long horizontal piece, because most of them that are elongated are vertical.
Right.
Okay. But your idea, I think the colorway you're doing and putting red in that, when you get the right one, you're going to have something there. Yeah.
Yeah. Just need to work on it.
Yeah.
Need to play. Need playtime.
Yeah. That's the key is playtime. Yep. So, okay, well, we'll keep monkeying with that. So, and then back to Royal Garden, reminding people now that the videos, it's on at WeTalkFiber.com, which is the website for Fiber Talk, not FiberTalk.com. I really wish it was that, but it isn't. At the top, pinned at the top, is an article that shows you the videos that we've done for the Crescent, Waffle, and Walnetto. Debbie Rowley did the one for Walnetto. So those will give you instructions for that. And then Beth will do the Amadeus Wednesday night, so we'll put that in too. And yeah, so there's help there. Though I haven't heard from anyone. I think people are cooking right along without any trouble. Yep.
Yeah, the directions are very good. They're very good.
Yeah, Debbie Rowley. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I had a question. Did you want me to iron some needle ray tonight or Wednesday night?
Oh, yeah, that would be great to see too. Yes. Yeah, tonight.
Oh.
Tonight, because people hear this. So, yeah, tonight. Yeah, that would be good to show people. Yeah. So we'll do that.
All right.
Make a note, as they say.
Yes, I'm making a note as we speak.
Okay. Yeah, I got to go buy a curling iron. Oh, Margaret just got home. She just went to Walgreens. And do you need anything? No. Oh, I should have told her to get a curling iron.
Yeah, it needs to be a flat iron. You don't want a curling iron. You want to uncurl it. And once you see how it works, you're just going to be like, yeah. I first I was skeptical, but then I did it, and I was like, this doesn't take any time. It is so worthwhile. It makes such a huge difference.
But it has to be a flat iron, so a little handheld flat iron.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, I'd have gone and bought a curling iron. So.
Well, a curling iron might work, but I think you want, but then it's got that curve in it. So I don't know if you're making it curlier. That would be bad.
It'd come out like a piece of thread off a Krynic spool, just spiral right up. Okay, so I got to get a flat iron, just any old cheap flat iron for making women's hair flat, straight.
Yes.
Okay. And then you'll show us how.
Yeah. Easy.
Because you're the master.
I don't know if I'm a master, but I know how to do it.
We're going to label you the thread ironing master. Yes.
And that's all I iron is my thread.
Okay. But when you do, you are superb at it.
Yes, I can. I can do that.
Okay, so two things we will learn tonight on the show is the Amadeus stitch and ironing thread. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Beth.
Be fun.
Beth
yeah.
And her expertise. Yep. Okay, September 2. Wednesday night, September 2. If you're in Australia, it's September 3 at like 11 in the morning, but whatever. September 2, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the Fiber Talk Stitching Hour is going to be our second tour with Gallery 76, the Embroiderers Guild Galleries of New South Wales in Sydney. And it's going to be the first day of the Secret Garden exhibition showing the art of Sharon Peoples and Belinda Jessup. And I'm excited about this. I'm excited about doing it in the first place, but more excited about because both artists will be there with April, so we'll get to communicate with them.
Yeah, that is so, because if you go to a show, maybe you go to a gallery show and the artist will be there maybe on opening night. But if you're going to go, you can't go talk to the artist. Normally you just go walk around and look, but they're not there to ask questions.
Right.
So this is, what an awesome ability to do this, opportunity. That was the word I was looking for.
Yep.
To be able to talk to the artists and ask them questions. Oh.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool. So mark your calendars. It's on the WeTalkFiber.com/YouTube. We'll get you there. And if you subscribe, then you get notified automatically, which is really what you should do. But, this is going to be cool. Second one in the series, and as far as I'm concerned, and I think as April McNee is concerned, who curates all these, we're just going to keep doing them. So it's a treat. It really is.
Yes, it is.
So that's April 2nd. So that's 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the YouTube channel. And as somebody pointed out to me, I need to mention where the galleries are at. It's in Sydney, Australia. So if you're somewhere else in the world and want to watch it live, you can calculate your time from there. Yeah. I forgot that. I felt bad for the lady who wrote to me because she was trying to find it, but she didn't know where it was located, so she couldn't figure out the time. And then because she wanted to watch it live, and so she could ask questions. And I felt bad because I had simple oversight to mention where it's located in the world. And so I will not make that mistake again. But I'm just really excited to be able to be doing this with them and with April. And because, like I've said 100 times, how else are you going to see this stuff?
Right.
It's...
no one's flying anytime soon to Australia. But, to be able to, for a lot of us, that's just not within our reach ever. So
right.
To be able to see these and maybe we'd go once, to a gallery show. But now
right.
we get to see them every time she puts a new one on. How awesome is that? And to talk to the artist,
I know.
That's just phenomenal. I was just like, that'll be great.
Yep.
That'll be great.
Yep. And there, it's from what I can tell, it's mostly machine embroidery, but it's amazing work. And I mean, I'm just curious how they do it. How do you do that? Yeah. Just amazing work. And it's going to be fun. So September 2, 8 o'clock on the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Just subscribe, folks. It's easiest. And then you get the notice.
Yeah.
So, and thanks to April for, making the extra effort. Of course, it's extra effort for her all the way around. She's got to take time out of her work day. She's got to plan how she's going to do it and coordinate with the artists. And so that's a lot of work on her end. So we really appreciate it. It's great. Yep. Okay, and then Friday night, Cheryl Lennox is going to be with us.
Yes.
And I am most interested in this one because she's a friend of yours. So tell what she does.
She is...
Without taking all day.
Okay, I'll try. She is an art quilter. She was our local librarian, and she puts on dye workshops locally. She did it for the library for years, but we've been friends, since my kids were real little, but we're friends is the creativity bug. She and I kind of push each other forward on our creativity. And I think that's where people will enjoy listening to her and might get some ideas going in their heads of where to move their needlework. Because she always challenges me to try something new or to look at something just a little differently and try things out. So yeah, she's a great art quilter, and I think people will enjoy listening to her. She started doing some eco dyeing. She started doing that, I think, last year, but she's really gotten into it this year. So
yeah, she posted a thing yesterday, I think it was, where she was boiling some ragweed to make a dye. And I sat there, seriously, lady, what are you doing? And I thought, but if she gets that color out of it, absolutely,
Right. And she was telling me today, she's like, I said, I've got to go pick pears in a couple of weeks. And she goes, pears? And I was like, you want some? And she goes, I need the rotten ones. The rotten ones? For indigo dyeing.
For indigo dyeing?
Like, yes, she does indigo dyeing.
Out of pears?
Okay, she'll have to ask her about that.
Oh, now I intend to.
Yeah, she needs the pears for it. Indigo dyeing is is quite the process.
Well, but that's just it. How do they fit into getting an indigo color? That's fascinating.
Yes, and your science mind, people who the chemistry involved in what she does is fascinating.
Right. Exactly.
Is fascinating stuff.
Yeah. What role do pears play in getting indigo color?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I have that question.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be Friday night. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And so she's one of those that the what if question is always on her mind then.
Right. And so if you ask her, like in dyeing workshops, we would ask, so do you know what happens if we do this? And she goes, no, but let's find out. Let's try that.
Uh-huh.
So we did, well, we'll have to talk about it on Friday, but we didn't quite do 50 Shades of Gray, but we did do Shades of Gray because people kept on asking her, can we do Shades of Gray in dyeing? And so she did the work and prepared a dye workshop for us to do Shades of Gray, which is harder than you think.
Now, see, I would have thought you just do black and then keep watering it down.
See? No.
Yeah.
Not really, no. No. We kind of wish, but it didn't work that way.
Okay, we're going to learn things from her.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that'll be fun. Because that whole thing, that's what I get out of, that's what carries me and ties all of the artists that I've talked to, is how they get to the design process fascinates me, because I am not creative. And, or if I am, it's never been unlocked. I don't know. Maybe there is a creativity in me, but I'll tell you, it is so put away that we're never getting to it. But it's.
Well, you're creative in your podcast.
Well, okay.
It's just a different type of creativity.
Okay.
I guess I would say.
Okay. But it's always interesting to me how these artists get to a creative product. Because some of them just it's just in their head. They can't get it out fast enough, can't get it designed, can't get it down fast enough. And there's 4 more behind it. And if I just had 18,000 hours in a day, I'd get them all done. Right. And, and then there'll be other people that I've got this idea and I let me put it down, and then I have to think about it. And it has to cook. And then one day the light goes on and they have it.
Right.
And
right. And most creative and creative people, I think, do kind of a little bit of both. They might have a whole lot of little ideas and they kind of they write them down, but they're not at their finished product yet. So they're the beginning of idea, and as they process them and make them, they change. The vision changes as they get from paper or thought to needle and thread. It'll change. Like if you read Diane's blog, she discusses that, how she'll pull, she'll start with an idea, she's not really sure, she'll pull threads, and then all of a sudden it comes together. But she might have to rip out a few times because it's not exactly what she thought, or not doing what she wanted, not exactly but it keeps going until that she gets to her final product. And I think Mary Corbett's the same way. Yeah. And she discusses that on her blog too, how she moves from, maybe she has drawn an idea. Someone wants her to make something, so she kind of sketches it out. She starts pulling threads, and what she thought was going to work doesn't work, so she's got to rip.
Yeah.
But that is fascinating how people get from point A to point Z and all those little steps in between.
And they all get there. The good ones all get to a beautiful piece of work that is original, creative, all the things that you would want. But the path is what just so intrigues me. Right. And that's just it for Diane. I've got an idea. Let me pull some threads. So basically the threads are her paint. And she lays them out and, back and forth. And you can just, having talked to her a couple of times, you can just see her mind just whirring as she's figuring it out. And and then there's those artists who carry around sketchbooks all the time. And like you said, just put down a little idea, and then they'll sit down and, well, wait, this and this in this way could become this. And, and next thing you know, they have something. And,
right. Or, okay, so let's talk about needlepoint designers. We lived in Europe for a while when my husband and I were first married, and I took tons of pictures of tiles. They're beautiful. They're just gorgeous. The colors, the shapes. And then you see people, and there's needlepoint designers who have taken a photo of a tile, and then they've done a needlepoint out of it.
Yeah.
And all I saw was the tile that was beautiful. They moved to this gorgeous needlepoint with it. Yep. And to me, that's fascinating. How did they? Yeah.
They see it. Yeah, they just see it.
Yeah, they see it.
And that's the thing. Well, and I'm playing around here because you took a picture when you guys were camping last week. Yeah, last week. Yeah, whatever week. I don't know. Is this Sunday? I don't know. But you took a picture of the forest floor. Right. And the color palette, and it's bugged me ever since because when I typed it, I spelled palette wrong, so our email exchanges back and forth. There it sits as an editor. It drives me nuts. But but the color palette in that was so appealing to me because it was these subdued earth-like colors. And there was a walnut that was had a really bright side to it. So there was a bright end to the spectrum. And then there obviously were shadows and blacks, And when I saw that picture, my first thought was, I saw it and I think you were on Instagram, so I couldn't save it. And thanks for sending it after the fact. But my first thought was, I wonder what the DMC threads would be for that picture. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do that.
And that's why I took it. I was sitting and I might have been stitching at the time. And I looked down and it's like, there's a composition at my foot. Now I just kind of moved some things around to make it look appealing to my eye. And then I took the photo and my thought was, I don't normally use browns, greens. That's not my color palette.
Right.
But I thought it would be good for me as an exercise to go through and pull that colorway because I tend to use things that are brighter, more. And so if I took the time to pull the colors, it works your brain different. It makes you kind of get out of your box of, I know these colors work together. So if I pull them, I know they work.
Yeah.
But if I do something a little different, then I'm not so sure the colors work and I'll have to play with it a little more. I'll have to work with it a little more. And that's good for your brain. It's just gets you out of your normal box.
Yep. Yeah. And see, and green is not, I do not care for green. And I never have. And a lot of that, I'm sure, is just my red-green color blindness. It's a pain in the butt for me. But right. But that palette. So, okay, so this is what we do. We each put together what we think is the palette for that and see how we compare.
Okay.
Because then, see, what happened so I've been staring at that. I haven't actually sat down and pulled out any threads yet, but I've been staring at that. And then somebody posted a picture on Facebook of, I forget the name of the parrot, but it's the only parrot that lives in the mountains. And the colors, it's a fairly subdued palette, but there's some bright colors in it. And it was another one, and I captured that picture. And I thought, there's another exercise. Can you take that parrot, because there was a shot of the parrot flying from above, so you could see the full spectrum of the colors. And so, all right, there's another one. That would be a spectrum and be worth doing. And I'll tell you and this isn't a new idea for me. And I kick myself, and I will always kick myself when Downton Abbey was on, Margaret sucked me into it because it's just not my kind of show. But it's one of those shows that once you start, you can't stop.
Right.
She sucked me into it, and there was a scene in the last year. It's Maggie Smith who plays the mother, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was one of the people.
Yeah, I think it's Maggie Smith who plays the mother. Anyway, they had a meeting in her house, and she had a dress on, and the colorway of that dress stopped me. It was like aquas and teals and that kind of thing, whatever the names of the colors are, I don't care. And I tried to remember when that was, what episode that was, and what scene, so I could go back and get a screen grab or something. And then I forgot, and then it was now I'll have to go back. How many of these am I have to scan through till I find that? So I just blew it off. But I've just kicked myself ever since because I've always thought that would be an excellent colorway for needlework.
Right.
And so that always has sat in the back of my head. And so then when you shot that picture, okay, all right, this one I am not going to let go by. This one's going to get saved. And so that's what we do. We put together and see how we come out.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And I keep on thinking there's got to be watercolors. I know there's a watercolors kind of brown shades that are close in there too.
Oh.
I'll have to, because I think, that's kind of got me curious too in this. Because if I do needlepoint, I almost always pull a Karen's watercolor out because the way she has worked color, I love that. But yeah, so that's where my mind is going. And then.
Okay, so then get a Karen watercolor that gets most of the colors or gives you an anchor for the spectrum, and then work off of that.
That's sometimes, and that's what if I'm going to change, like when I change dawn to dusk, I will find the watercolor that's in my head that I know is made, but it varies depending on the dye lot, but I'm going to find that one, and then I will match the other colors to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easier to go that way than pull DMC colors or pull your silks and trying to find a watercolor in the variegated.
Yeah.
It's so, yeah. And I might do both. I might pull DMC and the watercolor and see how they compare. Do it, see if, do two.
Yeah. I'm going to do straight DMC. I'm going to get out my thread chart thing and what DMCs I own, which I own quite a bit, so I should be pretty close. And then see what I have, and then I'll go get the others and fill it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise. And you never know, I hate to, Diane, when she did those mystery charts, that's what you did. You pulled your own colorway. You could do hers, but you could also pull your own. And that was always, fun to see what happened when you pulled your own colors out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'll be fun.
Changing colors on a Diane Rogers design. That's gutsy.
Well, no. This is her. She marketed them that way. I think you can still buy them on her site as a group. So they're like Mystery in a Corner was one. I don't remember there's a star one. I think Midnight Star, I think was the name of it. And she did hers in blue. And for some reason, my daughter was into orange. And she goes, "Do it in orange, Mom." And I said, "Okay, now that's a challenge." And I actually did. And I think it came out. People kind of look at it and they're like, orange. But, to put out in the fall, it's fine.
Right.
It just blends right in with all the Halloween stuff. But it was fun to do because you had to pull metallic. I think there was not, is it inspiration? No, it's soft. It's a soft woolly thing. Anyway.
Oh, so you couldn't just haul out a bunch of DMC colors and go with it?
You could, but you'd be laying a lot of long threads.
Oh, okay.
You're better off using some sort of pearl thing.
Okay.
You know how, because if you were, I mean, you're making like a huge star shape. So if you were those long to lay all those flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that can get junky looking in a hurry, can't it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's always one strand that never cooperates. Never.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
You got me. I got another question for you, because I was thinking about this when I was working on my royal garden the other day. Are you still trying not to flip your piece over?
Working hard at it.
Okay.
Working really hard at it. Yes.
All right. Okay. Here's my thing. When you do like the neon rays, what's your back look like? Does it twist on the back?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay.
Well, okay, wait, let me back up. I don't care about it, but the less you twist on the back, the easier it is on the front. So I get real careful about what happens to that needle when it goes through the hole to the back side. And I start holding it in funny ways so it will come up as flat as possible on the front side.
Okay.
And I take my sweet time. Yeah.
Yeah. So on Royal Garden, you're taking some really long stitches, and
yes.
I will, I got it nice on the front, and then I was like, okay, I'm not flipping it over. I'm gonna do my pin stitch, and then I don't know, for some reason I had to flip it over for some reason, and they were twisted. And I had a friend who did. I know one of her pieces went to be juried at some show, a needlepoint piece. And she said, yeah, if you're going to do neon rays and you're going to get it really flat, you have to be flipping that canvas back and forth and laying it on the front and the back. And I just wondered how you handled that.
There's no way I'd do that. There's no way I'd flip it over and lay it. No, but to go down, to have it flat on the front. So you start flat on the front, it's dead flat. Yes. And then to go down, then you just visualize it, that you do not allow any twist. Grab that needle in some other way. Don't use your usual motion, because it'll twist it most likely, and bring it back up, to bring it up as flat as possible. And then when I come up, if it's not coming up flat and square, then I will sit there with the laying tool, and fiddle with it till it comes up flat, because it makes a huge difference. If you come up square and flat from the back side, it will lay, and actually it's much easier to stitch that way if you're careful what goes on the back side. But it's to me it takes some fiddling, and I don't worry about the back side, other than I do take extra care there, but when you get it right, there's nothing like it. I don't think it's just beautiful, because it just lays just so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm just thinking, I'm pretty much done. Well, I did they were fans, I think is what she called them. And it was in the Neon Rays Plus. I'm going to give you I think you might want an extra card of that one, because I think I have enough to do one more of those, and that's it, because of the length you need. And I wish I had flipped mine around back and forth and back, because I just can't twist. You're using such a long length, and as much as I tried, I couldn't keep it flat. Now they look fine, but for a competition, if I was going to put it in a competition, I know I'd get dinged on that one, because it twisted a lot. It twisted in the back, and I know I tend to twist my threads. It's just how I am. So for me to get a really good flat with Neon Rays or any of those little real flat, I'm just happier with the look. If I flip it, I know it seems like a lot of work, flipping your canvas, but I did it on Margaret Bending's, she had the Uncle Sam's hat, and it had a ton of neon rays. And I thought, I want this to be flat. And I just kept flipping that canvas, and it's the best I've ever done.
Yeah.
It is flat. It is flat.
But you paid a heavy price to get that. Yeah.
It was worth it. It was worth it. And I'm debating on whether it's like, should I rip all that out? Because that section's all done on Royal Garden. Yeah. And I'd have to buy another card of it.
Yeah.
To get it.
Well, that's it. Yeah. What color? Well, you won't remember the color now, but because when I kitted that thing, that was really right after it came out. So that was like 2013. So lot numbers probably won't match up. So I might have to think about buying multiple cards.
Two. Right. And it's the green. It's the Neon Rays Plus. It's the green one. Okay. And it is close. I was worried because I made a mistake and I had to rip one out. And I kind of, how that is, you kind of get a little fuzzy on it or something. So
right.
I kept it because I thought, just in case I need a section of this. But yeah, I would almost recommend 2 cards, that one.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm like that. Yeah, if it gets snagged at all or looks at all funny, I just tear it out and throw it away. So right. I waste so much thread. Whatever. Whenever I tear out a whole bunch like that and go, oh, what a waste. And then I just think of Gahan Rogers, who just tears stuff out all the time and throws it away and starts over. So right. Nobody's worse than that. So that's all right. Yeah.
Right.
But no, when I do that I'll go down through the hole, because flipping over would drive me nuts. But then because I twist my threads too. I have to really watch that. I twist them. I'm terrible. I go down, and then underneath I will literally hold the needle and make sure that it does not twist. And then I get my arm kind of twisted around, coming back up, to come up as square as possible.
Right. And I think I wish I had, because I think if I felt it underneath, and that's the other way. She said you could do that, just be really careful, kind of, because you can feel it twist underneath.
Right.
And I thought, I should just flip this baby. just because it does, that thread is just known for it.
Yeah. And it shows up right at the end where you come up, it shows up. Because if it doesn't come up square, it won't lay flat right from the beginning. And then you can make it flat the rest of the way, but you can tell. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I hope that doesn't make you have to tear it all out.
I'm going to go look at mine again, but I think it looks flat on the top.
Okay.
To me, it looks flat. So I think I'll be all right, but it's like.
Yep.
That's all right. Sigh.
But now I'll have to look and make sure I have enough of that stuff. Yeah. When I buy kits like that, I should just buy 2. I should just buy double of whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's almost psychological. It's knowing that if this goes haywire, I have plenty.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I just relax and do it. And if I have extra skein, fine. Because like on Hannah Longstreth, that really dark green that makes up all the bush arms and leaves and things, people have said you need 2 skeins of MPI silk. So I had the one that came with the kit. Then I ordered 2 more. If you need 2, then I want a third one. And so now I don't care, and because especially silk, if I have to tear out silk, I won't reuse it. I just take it all the way out to the end of that thread, throw it away, and start over, because it loses its sheen so fast that it's not worth it. No.
Right.
No.
Right. And I like having the extra threads, because then when I'm doing something, you can add it. I add it, but I pull from my stash when I do my own, sometimes when I pull my own things. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of extra,
Yeah.
you know, of some, things.
Yeah.
Just the little drips and drabs. But,
Oh yeah,
no,
no,
it's making me think about it.
yeah, I have no trouble at the end having 4 or 5 skeins extra thread. That's okay. Just throw them in the drawer. There'll be a use, guaranteed. There'll be a use.
Yeah.
Like when somebody takes a picture of a forest floor, and I want them at, it's fine. I'll have them. Yeah.
You never know when you're going to need them.
That's right. That's right. Oh, yeah. And then, hey, I'd like to change this color. What do I have? Well, all of these. Do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Let's see. Should remind people. Oh, there's two things to remind people. Sassy Jack's, Karen Hedberg. Go to Sassy Jack Stitchery and be sure and check out the punch needle classes that Karen is offering. And then you can watch last Wednesday's show where I got to do some punch needle. That was an experience.
I still haven't had time to watch that, and I was going to watch it while canning salsa, but that didn't happen. So.
Well, it was interesting, and I'm sure that if it was not in that kind of a show, well, Karen said that she would have had me punch on just a doodle cloth just to get a feel for it, because I was struggling with it during the show, because when I would pull the needle up, I was always coming up too high, like it would spring out of the cloth and come up too high, and so then I always had this loose thread. And and then Jennifer suggested after the show, we were talking a little bit. She says, "I think your ground cloth is not tight enough," and it was springing up and down, and it sure seemed tight to me. And so I have that Case Creation punch needle frame. And so it's pretty easy to just pull it tight, and all those little needles on the sides, just grab it and hold it there. So it turned out that there was actually quite a bit more. It seemed really tight, but there was quite a bit more tension I could put on it. And I did, and then I practiced with it, and then it started to behave better, and I started to get that punch needle look that you want. So so that, to me, that said, all right, then item number 1 doing this punch needle is that ground cloth has just got to be as tight and taut as you can make it, so that you can go up and down without it flexing much. And so then I was starting to get a feel for it. Now I haven't been back to it since, but then when I flipped it over, there's that look, because it's a cool look. So. But then I mentioned when we were talking after the show that I really wish I had just practiced on doodle cloth. And Karen said, well, if it was an actual class, that she would have had me do that. But she wanted she had an agenda to show in the design how to deal with threads and so on and so forth, which was perfect for the show. But
right.
So that's what I want to do, is just because it's easy to do, but it's just getting that feel for how that needle works, and I just need some practice with that. But
right, it's interesting that the tension has to be so drum tight too on it.
Yeah,
kind of like Japanese embroidery, that you've got to keep the
right.
tension tight when you do like thread painting or anything like that.
Yeah, well, and when Jennifer mentioned that and I tightened it up, oh yeah, here, this is much better. Yeah, so, but it was amazing to me. I did not realize, because if you look at really good punch needle stuff, it's really beautiful.
Right.
And
yes.
I didn't realize that in the more advanced things that they're actually changing the depth of the punch to get the effects.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So some of those cool effects, they change the depth on the needle itself, because it has slots for how deep it will go. And so, some of this will be at setting 3 and some at 2 and some at 1. So how cool is that?
Yeah. It's that. Yeah, because I just thought it was all one.
I did too.
One level.
Yeah. No, you change it.
Yeah.
So,
And did they tell you in the patterns?
I don't think this pattern calls for a change. It's a pretty elementary pattern, but she was describing that because she was showing some of her work and said that she had changed the depth on them, a couple of them. And, so it was, surprising, but not surprising in that, like anything else, nobody ever keeps doing the same thing, what happens if.
Right.
Yeah. So that's, so there's, and that's a cool thing because that Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, there's the designers in there. I mean, there's a lot of good projects in there. I mean, it's basically a project magazine. So if you wanted to try Punch Needle, there's a good way to get it, to get patterns.
Yeah, and it's beautifully laid out. I think that magazine is just, to me, has lovely images, and the punch needle stuff was, because I don't punch needle, but I was like, oh, that one's punch needle. Oh, maybe I should try that sometime.
Yeah. Some of those will make you want to try it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yep. So that was a good experience. And so 3 classes, September, October, and November on a Saturday, online classes with Karen at Sassy Jack's. And then coming up also here in just a couple, 3 weeks is the soiree, the September soiree at Sassy Jack's. Can you sign up for that yet? I don't know.
No.
Oh, that's right.
Done.
Yep, that's right. She closed it. So
I think she's full. I think it was 200. So more than she could have taken if she had people there,
right?
Physically there. Right. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, that's right. I remember she posted. I got to make up kits now, so it's over. Yeah.
It's over.
And she's got there's a sampler that a boy did, so that it creeps me out to say this, but she's doing it in honor of me and Fiber Talk, introducing it, which, it makes me kind of creepy. But anyway, it's kind of cool because it's a boy did it, so that'll be neat. So, so we'll have a role in that somehow. She's got a lot planned. I think she's got a ton of stuff planned. So that'll be fun coming up.
And I think the swag bag is going to be, whatever you get as your kit is going to be, I mean, she does such a lovely job packaging thing. Yeah. I'm sad I didn't do her. I was like, I can't do another sampler, but she had that one Maggie took.
Oh yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
And that looked just like a lovely stamp. And I think she's going to re-release that. I'm going to mention that. I think she's re-releasing that later, but you learn to do queen stitch in it. And, for people who only do cross stitch, with a good video, that queen stitch is a good one to learn. Yeah. Because I know it comes up in samplers. I know it does.
Yeah, and it looks great. Yeah, it's a good one to have in your little army or little bag of tricks. But it really does look great, and you see it quite a bit in samplers actually.
Right, and I think she has a video of it. So that's what if you sign up for it, then you have a video of someone actually showing you how to stitch it. That's the nice thing.
Yeah, that helps.
I think there's a video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fiddly stitch to me, but
it is, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the end result's worth it. Yeah. A little fiddly. Yeah.
Fiddly.
Yep. Okay, so all that coming up. Sunday's guest will be Diane Grick of Silver Creek Samplers. And that's going to be fun. Haven't recorded that one yet, but that's going to be fun because it's going to be interesting because so much of her work is words. And she's very creative with the words. And she's a graphic artist who works for an advertising agency. So put that little package together, and I think we're going to learn something there. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So, Silver Creek Samplers. Check out her stuff. It's especially if you like to stitch letters, just some beautiful stuff. And she really does. She does a good job of. Well, she just does a good job. I mean, it really. And I'm not one who cares much to stitch letters, but I have to say she really makes them an art form. And
I'm thinking I've seen her stuff on Instagram, and it has stopped me and kind of like, oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. She has a talent there that is going to be fun to explore. Yep. All right, that's going to be it.
All right.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that's definitely going to be it. I didn't realize we've been going that long.
Yep. Gary, know what time?
That's it. We're done. Okay, so
we're done.
Tonight, Beth and I are stitching. Beth will show the Amadeus stitch. I'll show how far behind I am. Friday night is Cheryl Lennox and creativity.
Yeah.
So make some notes. Bring a pen and paper. Make some notes.
Yep.
All right. That's it, Beth. What?
All right. Have a good night.
What? Bring questions?
Bring questions for Friday night.
Okay. All right. Now we're done. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.